I can honestly say that I think Love, Simon is the rom-com that the world really needs right now. I went to see the film Love, Simon with my sister and her fiance and our friend Leanna. And it was... I've also read the book that the film is based on, and I enjoyed the movie a lot more. So for those of you who don't know, Love, Simon is based on a book called Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. It follows a teenage boy in high school who is closeted gay, and he discovers that some other kid in his school is also closeted and gay, and they start emailing each other. Somebody finds out about Simon's emails and leaks to the school that he's gay, and it's sort of like starts with him being blackmailed by the person who might leak it, and ends, you know, it's a rom-com, I bet you can guess. Spoilers ahead for both the book and film, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then stop watching now. I thought that the book was very enjoyable. It's a little cliche, but it's a rom-com, so that's understandable. Things I didn't really like about the book is that they did a lot of pop culture references, especially to products, which is something that always kind of annoys me. It annoys me in television and it annoys me in books. And I just feel like a lot of times when I'm reading books, I don't want them to necessarily be referencing other things. And maybe that just stems from the fact that I don't read a lot of realistic fiction and I read mostly sci-fi and fantasy, where clearly they're not referencing places and people and real things most of the time. But sometimes it just feels sort of canned to me. And also, I hate it when it feels like an ad. Like, if you ever watch one of those television shows where they're like, yeah, check out my new Ford Focus. I really love it. It has these cool features. And you're like, no, that's not why I'm watching this television show. Literally in 10 seconds, you're going to take a break, and then I'm going to have to watch an ad about a Ford Focus. And I understand that. But right now I'm watching TV, so please stop. That's how I felt in some parts of the book. Also, in the book, his friends get mad at him shortly after it comes out that Simon's gay. Not because he's gay, but because of the things he was doing when he was being blackmailed. However, in the book, it all seems to sort of come out of left field, and you're like, what is wrong with you people, and why are you angry? But overall, I did enjoy the book, and I left feeling like genuinely medium about it. Then I went to see the film, and there are things I didn't like about the film. They introduced this vice principal character who is the exact kind of character that I hate, that makes me personally really uncomfortable, and I couldn't stand him. But they did a lot of good things too. They made it more obvious why his friends would be mad at him. They sort of upped the ante on the blackmail thing, which I think made Simon like a bit more well-rounded. And you see sort of the mistakes he made. But they did some not so good things. They made Leah, who is his best friend, in love with him instead of their other best friend, Nick, which I felt kind of unnecessary. Not that I don't understand the idea of like falling in love with somebody and then finding out they're gay, because I get that, but I didn't think that it was needed. They also, in the book, this character that at one point Simon thinks is the guy he's corresponding with, Blue, his name is Cal, and in the books it's revealed that Cal is bisexual, and in the movie they just sort of like didn't do that, which is annoying because I have several bisexual friends and they all talk about the invisibility of bisexuality, and clearly that happened in this film. But all of that aside, I thought that the film was really, really well done. I feel like this story works well in a film medium better than it did as a book, and that it is a great high school rom-com. It's beautiful. Like, it falls under all the cliches, and it's just a well-told story, and it's very heartwarming, and it makes you feel warm fuzzies, and when people get together at the end, you're just like, oh, that's so exciting, even if there are a lot of awkward moments along the way. But that's the way that a rom-com works. And I think Leanna said it best, that it was nice that this wasn't sexual, like, at all. In the book, you get a little bit of time after Simon is, like, met Blue in person, And also, you get a little bit of like them emailing risque emails back and forth about like how they'd feel to be around each other. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, and I think it's perfectly natural, but I did like that it wasn't part of the film, because a lot of times when you do gay and or lesbian or queer films, it's a lot of like sexual awakening stuff. So it was nice to have something that was just a high school romantic comedy and didn't need any of that other stuff. And I think that this is an important film because I've seen a lot of people going to it and a lot of people liking it, and I think that it speaks to an audience that didn't have something like this before. Because Call Me By Your Name is great, and so is Moonlight, but those are both sort of more tortured films. Like The Color Blue, I guess maybe less tortured, but very sexualized, like it's a sexual awakening thing. It's a lot heavier, I guess. So it's nice to have something light and free that's just a regular story about two people who fall in love in high school. Or fall in like, I guess. But it's called Love, Simon, so like, they fall in love. So overall, I liked this film. I would recommend the film certainly to anyone who likes romantic comedies, who wants to get a like firmer grasp, or likes teen drama, that kind of stuff. It's a very good film, and I would recommend the film over the book, which is weird for me, but I feel like the film is exactly what it should be, and it's tells a great story, and the book is very good but doesn't have the same power just because of the medium. So I would highly recommend the film. So if you can, check out Love, Simon. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. If they removed the vice principal and made Cal gay again, well, bisexual again, I would probably give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. But for me personally, it's the vice principal just really bugs me, which doesn't necessarily detract from the film for a lot of other people. So that shouldn't detract from you going to see it. So yeah, I would recommend this film, and it's a fun romp, and I think you will enjoy it, and I think it's an important film to be made, and that people will maybe look back on this years from now and be like, that was the point, when people realized that they could just tell stories about real humans. It didn't need to be a thing. That's my hope anyway. I'll see you tomorrow.